friends. Today I'm working with a tray from the Dollar Tree and an IOD transfer from the Lover of Flowers book that I got from Decoupage Central. And I'm painting my tray in the color sheepskin, and I'm going to do 2 coats. Now I did paint the back side of it already, so I'm just going to focus on the front side and get it good and painted. Make sure I get down in those little crevices. There's a detail around that tray. If you're familiar with those silver trays from Dollar Tree, you just want to make sure you get down in there. I'm going to dry it up. And then I'm going to take my Paint Couture Dead Flat Top Coat, and I'm going to paint the front and the back. Now, I put a top coat on my projects before I use a transfer. If you don't have a problem getting your transfers to stick without using a top coat, you would have to leave this step out. For me, I find it works better. Make sure it's dry. Just cool it off just a little bit. Them trays get hot. So now I'm going to apply my transfer, make sure it's centered. And when I do this transfer like that, I make sure I get it centered and move it around. And then I kind of peel back one little small area and stick the transfer down on my project and then peel the rest of it off. Because now you're going to see I do lift this up. I got really lucky because usually you can't do that. Once you apply your transfer, do not try to pull it back up unless you're ready to pull it back up, because once it sticks, it sticks. I just was real fortunate and was able to pick mine back up. So now I got my stick here, and I'm just going to rub until I get it down, and just take your time. Peel the transfer, slowly peel back your backing, because if you see any areas where it's not laying down, you can lay your transfer back down and rub some more. So now I'm using my top coat and I'm applying that over the transfer to seal it. And then I'm going to dry it. So I really wanted to give this a really aged look. So I'm going to be using my DIY Dark and Decrepit. And I do grab a shop towel. Since I did apply the sealer, I am going to be able to wipe some of that back. It's going to be a little more forgiving, I guess you could say. But I found that the shop towel, it was still darker than I wanted it to be. So I wound up getting a wet wipe and using the wet wipe, and it worked better for me for what kind of a look I was going for. And I do go over the whole thing on top of the transfer, the whole thing with the Dark and Decrepit. Since I put that sealer on there, I can do that. So, and it won't hurt your transfer. I'm just going to dry this, make sure it's good and dry. So now I'm going to make now I've got my antique gold rub and buff, and I'm going to go around that outer edge where that detail is, just to give it just another little added detail to it, and to bring out that detail on the tray, kind of make it pop. Now I'm going to get my fabrics and make a bow. And I'm just using some cheesecloth, some chiffon ribbon, and some lace for my bow. Tie it up and good and tight, and then I'll fluff it out and trim it up. But these little trays are fun to work with. You can do so many things for a cute little vignette or on a little shelf sitter. Inexpensive. You could Mod Podge a print on them. I mean, there's so many things you can do with those. So I'm gonna glue it down, and I have add some little flowers to it. Now these flowers are like white, and of course I didn't really go with my picture, or it was too bright white for what I'm doing, so I did coffee grunge them to tone down that white. But I'll glue my bow down, and I'm going to add my little floral pieces. Make sure it's centered. Now I did forget to add a button to the center of my bow, but you'll see in the picture at the end that I do add one. I just forgot. I'm kind of pulling those flowers out. I got them tucked down in there too far, but there it is, my cute little shelf sitter. This is Robin with Zimmies Simple Designs. Thank you for watching.